So, I know y'all seen the title and I know y'all already know what the video is about. But, before you get to assuming, let me explain. Usually what I do when I do these videos is I watch the older trailer of the older character. At the end, I talk about the way that the old character played and functioned to my knowledge. And this one less so because I didn't see too much Rocko play and stuff like that. And then I talk about what I think will carry over to the next game, what will change in the next game. Then I watch the new trailer with a fresh set of eyes. Now, I almost forgot to do this, so I clicked on a new video and I saw like the first 10 seconds, but all I know is that Choctopus is the announcer. I didn't see like anything meaningful. With that being said, if you want to skip to a certain part, use the timestamps down below, but I encourage you to watch everything because I'm always entertaining and it's always fun to watch these trailers with y'all. With that being said, let's get into it. I still don't know why they had that silent part for the beginning of the old trailers. It was just felt so unnecessary. Hey, yo.
Nancy Rodriguez from the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl development team. And today,
again, one of the things that I used to say, that I say a lot about the older trailers is the simple fact that, like, and there's not no disrespect to anybody's culture or nothing like that, but the broken English thing, it was not working. It made the trailers harder to understand than it really was. And that's not like a knock or a dig at somebody who's trying to learn English as a second language or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, when you making stuff like this, the idea is to appeal to a certain audience. So what they should have did is they should have hired out of studio voice actors like they're doing for the voice trailers in the second game, even if they went on Fiverr and found a couple people and had them like do the voice acting and read out the scripts, because the people they had read out the scripts in the original game, terrible, bro, terrible, except for Daddy, but everybody else was terrible.
I'll showcase the moveset
that, and also for the first game, I never originally watched this, so this is a completely blind reaction. Like, I don't know nothing about Rocko.
Carrying Wallaby. Rocko. Rocko is a zoner character who makes up for his lack of strength with lots of projectiles and hard to predict movements. We'll begin our very modern life with Rocko's light attack. Rocko's light neutral is Wallaby kick. Not to be confused with the kangaroo kick, totally different. His light up is breaks out. This is a good move for juggling your opponent. And his light down is...
Why would I want to move while I pop my brain out my head, bro? Like, do you know how much brain damage having your raw brain hit oxygen would do? Like, and then on top of that, using it to hit somebody and then slamming it back in top of your skull, into the top of your skull and slam dunking that joint back in your dome. Do you know how much brain damage that would cause? Like, I don't know who designed that move, but I don't think you should encourage kids to pop their own brains out their forehead.
Is cleaning duty. Hold the button to keep cleaning that dirty floor. Spunky sure loves sliding away at the broom.
I wonder how good it is.
Now, let's observe Rocko's attempts at martial arts with his air light attacks. Rocko's light neutral air is this karate?
Is it a multi-hit?
Is right, left, right.
That's a multi-hit.
Rocko hits multiple times with his boxing gloves, with a finisher attack that deals iron knockback. And his light down air is
so it has a launcher.
Rocko hits up,
his nair,
front, and down in a single motion. Rocko's light dash attack is roller fall. He moves forward with his rollers, then
I hope that gets deleted in the second game because that looks so bad.
Rocko has a bit of an issue with anger management, as he will demonstrate with his strong attacks. Rocko's strong neutral is Scream! Better not make him too angry. His strong up is Pogo Jump. He jumps upwards with his pogo.
That's a really good strong up air for the simple fact that you can dodge like a lot of moves in the game and you can dodge stuff being a hitbox. So like in doubles, I imagine that's like a great move, but like just in singles alone, like you can dodge like half the moves in the game just by pressing up strong. Like, what? That's a good ass move. What the fuck? Even if the hitbox on that move and the knockback and all of that stuff is terrible, that like the fact that I can just, oh no, I'm in trouble, up strong, and then just dodge literally any move in the game, is like, well, goddamn, like there's no downside to that move. I basically get a free upwards dodge with a hitbox. Where's the downside? Please tell me, because I can't find it.
falls, dealing damage all the while. You can tweak the direction of the jump and fall with the joystick. And he's strong.
And you can control where you fall, bro. Like, if you're playing Rocko, I would imagine you never have a reason to dodge up because you could just up strong, and it doesn't look like it has a lot of startup or anything like that. Like he has to pull it out of his bag or something like that. It looks like you just press it and it's just whee.
Down is hammer attack. This is a good
Another
move
spike.
for spiking your opponents.
Look, see, before he even said it, I knew, because, bro, Nick All-Stars 1 had a problem with everything being a spike. If any move that you pressed downwards spiked automatically, and then the rest of your move set also spiked. Like, it was just ridiculous.
There's obligatory hammer time joke here. Moving on to Rocko's air strong attack.
Okay, that would have been funny if it was delivered better, like, add obligatory hammer time joke here. Like, that would have been funnier if they just put it across the screen. Like, if they was working with a content creator, he would have just been like, no, don't say it. Just put it across the screen. Just like have a freeze frame with him with the hammer down and do like a special little zoom in with like a special, I forgot what it's called, but basically, you know how in the Smash Bros trailers, like for new characters, sometimes they modify the camera in a way that you never could in the normal game to show certain stuff. If they did something like that where they modified the camera to do a zoom in with him with the hammer in his hand, like hitting down with the hammer and then just put over the screen, insert obligatory hammer time joke, that would have been way funnier and that would have been way cooler than just saying it. I'm just saying, like, they obviously they now have a content team, or at least they're smart enough to work with outside content creators, but still, that could have been way funnier.
Rocko's strong neutral there is...
The hell?
What? A typical reaction.
What?
See some of the wild combos out there. His strong upper is... Look at it. I mean, it's just a sad crying clown in an iron lung. And his strong downer is...
I feel like in the second game, they're going to add some type of RNG mechanic to that, but I could be wrong because I'm not too familiar with Rocko, so I don't know if that's like a specific reference to something.
Watch out! He throws a bowling ball projectile downwards. Strike your opponents right at the start of the move to spike them.
Yeah, I was just about to say, that sounds like another good-ass spike slash stage Cinderway. Like, I call stage Cinderways those moves that, like, when you're off stage, they hit you, and even though they don't send you down, they send you at a weird angle away from stage, or they hit you in a way, like, that sends you so far away from stage, even if you have a good recovery, it kind of, like, is iffy. Or if you do have a good recovery, you're reaching the limits of how good it is.
Rocko's strong dash is crazy vacuum. Teach your opponents the meaning of sucking.
I feel like I want to know if that dog that I seen in the beginning, if it was like a taunt or something like that, or was that like a legitimate part of his moveset. But we also have half of a video to go, which in the second game never would have happened. They probably saw their audience retention and said, nah, we ain't doing that.
Let's witness Rocko's most wacky adventures with his special attacks. Rocko's neutral special.
Why? I really don't understand why they had an obsession with making special moves. For some reason in the first game, they had an obsession with making up specials, those Incineroar type specials that go up and then just dive down. I don't know why they did that. I really don't know why they did that. They did it with a surprising amount of characters.
Is Go Spunky. He sends his trusty dog Spunky in a forward direction.
Can you do anything else with Spunky?
An opponent, he licks them aggressively, making them flinch. You can also grab Spunky, or change his direction by hitting him with an attack. His up special is Flying High.
That's so boring.
He grabs a rocket and flies upwards.
I feel bad for people who are fans of Rocko because I'm not like the biggest Rocko fan, but I feel like they could have did something way better with that. Like, I don't know exactly what, but I feel like they could have did something way better than that. That idea was so goddamn boring. There's already like 10 projectiles, in the game that could do the exact same thing. And then Gurr, like, if that's all that Spunky does, he's literally just worse Gurr. Because Gurr in the first game was so amazing. Like, not even worse Gurr. He's worse Rupert. And I don't remember if the bear's name was Rupert. But like the little bear that Garfield had, he's literally just a worse version of that. Like that move don't even look good. Like, it looks really easy to dodge, and it looks like it barely sets up for 50-50s unless it's like close quarters. But again, he's a zoner, so he's not meant to be close quarters.
The rocket explodes once it reaches max altitude. Afterwards, Rocko plummets to the ground diagonally, dealing damage.
Damn, it would have been nice if I could hear an explosion sound.
And his
like, am I bugging?
Rocko plummets.
He just flies up and then he just starts diving towards the ground. Like, I can't get a little biff, a boom, a bang, a pow, something. Like, can I get a, like, damn, this game was ass. Damn, this game was ass. How am why is it my up special is I fly up and my rocket explodes, but there's no explosion? I don't see no explosion. I don't hear no explosion. For some stupid ass reason, he flew out of bounds. So even if there was an explosion, I wouldn't know. If he didn't say there was an explosion, I dead ass would have thought he was just holding up an umbrella and then just diving down. What the like, yo, bro? This shit. I'm not a Rocko fan, but I'm pretty sure them niggas would be mad.
Ground diagonally, dealing damage. And his down special is Jack the Hammer. Rocko pulls out his iconic jackhammer and sends it away. The jackhammer moves and jumps around the stage randomly, hitting anyone, even you, in the process.
That seems like a good move competitively,
And
but
finally,
reference-wise,
Rocko takes a little tea break for a change of pace.
does the jackhammer interact with Spunky, or is that just cosmetic? Because if that's just cosmetic, then the fuck was the point of showing that?
Rocko's stage is Hardcore Course. This is a medium-sized stage with 2 platforms and a roof. The platforms move slowly up and down. Looks like the scented bananas are looking for your queen. Now, let's watch Rocko living a totally life in a real life.
Alright. I don't have too much to say about that trailer other than the fact that I'm not a Rocko fan, but that shit seemed like this moveset seems disrespectfully like just boring. Like, this moveset makes me legitimate want to go to sleep, and like a lot of the time when people I know who were like even the mildest bit curious in this game, because like you gotta realize, when I play this game like in public, like at my local community center and stuff like that, like people would see the game and they'll see SpongeBob, they'll see Avatar, and they'll go, "Oh, cool! Is this like a Nickelodeon Smash Bros? This game is cool." And like, because they know I play video games, like I'm the gamer guy out of everybody, out of all my friends, basically, like whenever they want to play certain games and stuff like that, they'll ask me, and if it looks anything like Smash, if it's a platform fighter, I'm the #1 nigga they ask if they should buy this game, if they should play this game. And I'm gonna be real, with Nick All-Stars 1, I could not look a single nigga in the face and say, yes, you should buy this. Only reason why I ever brought this game, the first game, was because it was cheap at the time. At the time, it was cheap, and I wanted to make content about it. And the dev cycle, before we knew how the game was, it looked like it was promising. It got hope, and a little bit of the hype of it being a Smash Brothers killer or whatever got to me. And like, if y'all know, I especially said it with the recent Nintendo community guidelines video, while I was reading their shitty ass guidelines. Like, I love Smash Bros as a game, and like competitively, I just love Smash Bros. I love platform fighters, but I can't stand Nintendo. Like, I really can't stand Nintendo. They, for some reason, are just allergic to letting niggas enjoy the game how they want to enjoy the game that they paid for. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know why, but I hate them niggas. So I really want to support a game that can give them a run for their money so that they stop doing dumb shit. Because like, my hope is that if they get some real competition, they actually have to pay attention. Because basically, when you get oh shit, this is the second spotlight. What the fuck, did I not click loop, you dumbass video? My hope is that if they get some real competition, that maybe, just maybe, they'll start to give a fuck about how they treat their community, because they see that their community is going somewhere else, and that the community around this game is drying out their pockets because they keep treating their community like shit. That's my hope. But at the end of the day, Nintendo has so many other top franchises that makes money. I can't honestly sit here with a straight face and tell you even that would be enough. But maybe, just maybe, one of these games could come out and just be better than Smash, or come out and be good enough to give Smash a run for their money and make them have to pay attention. That's all I'm asking for. That's honestly all I'm asking for. And I thought this was going to be that, but after the game came out, it just reinforced the reason why people play Smash. Because this shit, like, honestly, if like I said, if the average person asked me, should I buy this game, I would say no. This shit is a terrible cash grab. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Especially the way it released in the original game. Hell no. And then even if you were like a fan of fighting games, honestly, 2 days after the game released, there was no reason to play it. Because even now, if I go online and boot up that game, it's going to take me at least 10 minutes to find a match. And if I do find a match in under 10 minutes and I leave that match and I rejoin online in less than 10 minutes, I'm going to get the same person. Like, there's nobody online in this game. All the servers for this, there's no crossplay. So all the servers for this game are very ecosystem dependent, especially for Switch, because I'm a believer, if you're going to make a game with no crossplay, I should be able to get games on when I'm playing this, no matter what. So for example, the Switch servers should be active, the PlayStation servers should be active, the Xbox servers should be active to the point to where I don't need any crossplay, and the lack of crossplay is just quality control. With this game, the lack of crossplay wasn't quality control. It was pure laziness. Quality control would have said, hey, nobody knows who we are. Nobody has faith in our game. And especially for this second game, y'all better make the number one thing. I don't give a fuck how bad your online is. You can have worse on online than Nintendo. If you don't have any crossplay for this fucking game, you're going to kill your game. Like, straight up, your game is dead. If this second game drops with no crossplay, you killed your game day one. I'm not even buying it. Day one, there better be crossplay, or else you killed your game. Your game is straight dead. Let me repeat this again. Day one, if this game has no crossplay, is dead on arrival. I promise you. The first game, the same fucking thing happened. There was no crossplay. Everybody played the game for 10 seconds and thought it was ass. If this second game has no crossplay, that December 1st physical date means nothing to me, because I'm not getting this shit if it doesn't have crossplay. Because y'all already gave me 3 red flags, and that fucking digital to physical release date, that was already 2 red flags. But I'm going to talk about that more a little bit later. With that being said, let's get on to the second trailer. Let's see what they talk about in this second trailer. Let's see what
hey
that
everyone,
boy Chalky
my
got
name is
Chalky
Chalktopus,
about.
and I'm here to remind you that Laundry Day is a very dangerous day. And also to...
I don't know what the fuck that means. I guess Laundry Day is a very dangerous day. I don't know, I guess. That might be something in relation to the show again, but I don't know.
present none other than the wacky wallaby himself, Rocko, who's back with a familiar yet modern design in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2.
Okay, so they kept the upswitch the same.
Rocko
I don't know
typically
why.
tends to strive for a mostly peaceful existence alongside his companion, Spunky, packing whatever tools, knickknacks, and valuables he can find before being rushed out the door.
It looks like they gave him mostly the HD treatment. And by that I mean, like, they didn't change too much of his moveset. It looks like they're just going for the let's make him HD, slap him in this new game, give him a couple adjustments to fit the engine and the playstyle we're going for, and we'll call it a day and just say fuck you. So I don't think they're gonna give him any major adjustments, because that's what it looks like they're doing to most of these characters, just giving them HD, just upping the quality of like their models and stuff like that. They're not actually changing
Rocko
anything.
is ready for action as a scrappy little
Which is
brawler
sad.
with plenty of surprises. Since we've already introduced him, let's talk about Spunky, who can be called out with Rocko's neutral special to chase after his opponents. As long as Spunky's on the ground, he'll run in a straight line until he gets close enough to pounce on his target. If he misses his mark or gets called in the wrong direction, fear not. pressing the special button again, or giving him a little encouragement with one of Rocko's attacks.
Already, they improved the character. Cause like what it sounds like from that little interaction right there is in the first game there were a lot of times where if you threw Spunky in the wrong direction, it was just shoulder shrug, GG's, fuck you. So at least they improved that, and that's a big W right there. Is the video gonna play? What the fuck?
Will turn him around on command. Spunky won't lunge after opponents if he's in the air, but he can be picked up and thrown to hit them. With
Okay, I think you could do that in the first game. I'm not sure.
all the help that Spunky provides, be sure to take good care of him. If he gets hit or thrown by an opponent, he'll get a bit dizzy before eventually returning to Rocko. If you'd like to introduce a little bit of chaos into the fray, Rocko can pull out a jackhammer with his down special. The jackhammer will knock opponents around as it travels in random directions, but if you need some consistency, the slime version of this move will stay traveling forwards.
Hey, yo, what the hell is this? Why do they need to show online gameplay and shit like this? Like with the HUD and the UI there, this looks very uncinematic and unprofessional, bro. What the fuck is this?
And as an added bonus, if Spunky gets close enough to the jackhammer, he'll throw on his hard hat, get to work, and cause it to move even faster. Next up, Rocko's side special is the most helporific household device on Earth, the Suck-O-Matic. When activated, Rocko will ride the Suck-O-Matic into battle, pulling in and throwing out any enemies or dogs that happen to be in its way. While it won't do your taxes or cook for you.
So that's a very, very good thing. You could have there's more applications to that move now, because in the first game, it was your, I think, strong dash attack. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it was your strong dash attack, and that's pretty much all it was. But now that you can grab the dog and throw him, hey, he still might be worse, but now he has more utility, honestly. And they better put invaders back in this game, and they better not pull this. Well, if you want to be honest, characters are just functions, right? No, don't pull that shit. Characters are not functions. Characters are characters. One thing I think a lot of devs need to keep in mind when they make these sorts of games, that I hope that they watched what happened with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and learned, is that when you make games based off of existing IPs, a good majority of your fan base is not playing the game because they think it's good. They're playing the game because it has so-and-so character. So, for example, a good reason why a lot of people, including me, didn't play Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is because there were no X-Men. When I play Marvel vs. Capcom, I don't care how much of a shitty character he is. I want to play Wolverine. I want to play Storm. I want to fight against Magneto, so on and so forth. So, like, playing a game like this, Nick All-Stars, the characters you have in the game determine your sales. I don't know if you realize this, but for example, you understood that you at bare minimum had to put a lot of SpongeBob characters in here because like Mario is to the gaming world, SpongeBob is to the television world. Very, very, very important, impactful, and very widely recognized. Putting SpongeBob on the box is going to sell a way more copies than if he wasn't on the box. Got it? So re-adding Invader Zim into the game, re-adding all the characters that weren't announced and weren't announced to be coming over from the first game to the second game, it's important that they come back. Like, for example, Helga better come back. All right? I want Helga to come back. I want Powder Toast Man, even though only 2 people know who Powder Toast Man is, he better come back because I like Powder Toast Man's memery. All right? So there's certain things from the first game that just have to carry over to the second game, and like I said, it is very important. Remember how people was ready to riot in the first game when some of their favorite characters didn't get in? Don't think that if you give us a character and take it away, we aren't gonna riot. Trust me, we will. Is it not gonna press play?
It can be used to get back to stage if you get knocked away. The slime version of this move is slower, but a bit stronger, and its enhanced sucking strength can even pull enemies in from a distance. Finally,
See, what I think Choctopus should have did is he should have went for the big boy dominance play and said, like, just said some off the wall shit like, "Yup, the slower version sucks you up harder, but it also spits you out harder." Like, he should have said something crazy like that just for the lols. If that was me, I'd have definitely did that.
Rocko's up special, the Conglommo rocket, shoots high into the sky before adjusting its trajectory back into the ground.
Do we at least see an explosion?
This move
now?
allows Rocko to go deep off stage while he bonks opponents over the head with his light down air.
No explosion.
In case you thought you were done, Rocko still has a few more surprises to offer besides his special attacks. Passed down for generations, his grounded, charged up attack is his family's trusty pogo stick. This move can be used to meet opponents way high up in the air as a finisher, or to continue
that's a
combos
good move,
with the
so they
slime
didn't really
cancel.
need to change it
Though
too
more
much.
simply, you could also just fall onto your opponent's heads and send them flying. His aerial charge down attack drops a bowling ball on enemies' heads, which definitely makes it a great move for hitting enemies that are hanging out way down under. That's an Australia joke for you.
One thing I want to also emphasize is I appreciate how in the trailers for this game they're not really explaining the simple moves too much, even though I wish they would just go over them just so that we know the names of the move. They're not going into deep detail or anything about that. One thing I do appreciate is that they're only explaining the moves with weird or special properties that you wouldn't be able to understand otherwise. Because you got to remember, in this day and age, there are no such thing as manuals and in-game, what you call it? You know, the in-game thing where it describes everybody's moves, like the move list. There we go. The in-game move list doesn't do justice to how certain moves work, and most people nowadays don't look at move lists. But being able to look at this video and watch it and see how those weird or strange moves operate, that's a good thing. W. Not gonna lie, once in a while, they get a W. They get a clap it up for me for that. Like, whoever they got to write the scripts for this second game, they need to hold that nigga tight, because that's one of the very, very few staff over there. I think all of the staff, from what I could see at Ludosity, gives a flying fuck about this game, but it's a lot of game meal dunking on them. But again, I'm gonna try and hold my tongue and talk about that at the end of the video and address that at the end of the video.
As a stubby little wallaby, Rocko definitely has some short range compared to other fighters, but once you find an opening, possibly by clever use of Spunky and his jackhammer, Rocko can certainly spring into action with an altogether strong combo game and versatile toolset. If you like the look of what Rocko has to offer, then try him out in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned as we wrap up our character spotlights.
Oh. Damn, and then he got plucked on top of that? Shit.
Hey everyone, my name is Choctopus, and I remind you that laundry day
Alright,
is a very
now,
dangerous day.
first thing I want to address is the changes to Rocko are very, very minimal. Like, the literal only move that I was changing, like, technically this wasn't even a change, this was just a reuse of assets. They took his Suckomatic, they took the Suckomatic and they changed it to make it so that instead of being his strong dash attack, it was his side special, which I can't really blame them for, because I understand that in terms of developing games, sometimes you got to make concessions and stuff like that, so that you're not sitting here for 20 damn decades trying to make this game that's just gonna sell 2 copies because you niggas are ass at making games anyway. But I'm joking, low-key. But like, what I mainly want to say with this part is, like, I wish they would put a little bit more effort into, like, mixing it up with the characters, because this character, while he does feel cartoony, I feel like he could do a bit more. But that might just be me nitpicking, and I don't really understand Rocko's character, so I could be reaching out my ass with this one, right? What I mostly want to talk about is, in my last video, basically I said, God damn it, it cut the volume off. In my last video, I was talking more so about how I didn't understand why Ludosity was doing the thing they did with the digital versus physical one, right? So for those of you who don't know, this game, for some stupid ass reason, has 2 release dates Why does it have 2 release dates? Because on November, I believe it's November, it's like November 7th or something like that. And no, early November, in a couple days from when I'm recording this on November 1st, so in like less than a week. Oh, yeah, there you go, right there on the screen, 11/7. So on November 7th, the digital version of this game is releasing. Let me repeat myself. The digital version of this game is releasing. It will not be available if you want to buy the game physically in stores until till December 1st. So, for those of you who are not understanding what that means, if somebody wants to buy the game physically, they have to wait a whole extra month from everybody else who's going to buy it digitally. Why is that stupid? Because in the gaming industry, digital purchases, like, I understand that the gaming industry is pushing digital purchases more now than before, because pay attention, that's why I keep squirting on you, motherfucker. You thought I forgot? They're pushing digital purchases more over physical purchases for the simple fact that digital purchases make more money. Because think about it, I don't have to lower the price of my digital game. It's always going to be on the server as long as I have like licensing rights, if there's any licensed stuff in the game. And basically, as long as I say so, if this game released at $70, 4 years later it can still be $70. That's just how digital games work. Digital games are also cheaper to make and they're more accessible. So that's like a not pain point, but that's like a selling point that a lot of companies will use. Oh, we're pushing digital games because we want to make it easier and more accessible to indie devs, which is partially true, but it's also another tactic to make digital games seem like a better of a thing so they can charge you more for shit that shouldn't be charged more. Because a lot of the times, for those of you who are younger, a lot of the times, if you don't know this, you could get used games for cheaper prices if you wait. So for example, if this game comes out right now and I wait 2 months to get the game used or to get the game physically, because of in-store sales and in-store deals, I was more likely to get it for a cheaper price. With digital games, like I said, it's basically a fuck you, we put what price we want, right? So I said that to say, if I wanted to get the game a month after it released so that I could get like a cheaper version, it's just a big fuck you. If I wanted to buy the game physically and get it day one and physically have the cartridge and open a box and play it and have that wonderful experience of opening a box and popping out the cartridge out of the case and putting it in my game console, so fuck you. Well, because like, I really don't understand why they did that, because somebody explained to me that a lot of the fucked up business decisions that are coming out of this are more so from Game Mill, which is what I meant when I was talking about it. Is just because I was so angry, I was saying it wrong and I wasn't thinking about it. So thank you for calling me out on that. But like, these business decisions that Game Mill is making are just confusing and baffling the fuck out of me, because from what I'm seeing from the outside looking in, like, for Game Mill, this is another Nickelodeon licensed cash grab, and for Ludosity, this is a passion project that they're getting paid to make. So like, Game Mill has to make certain concessions to get the game out the door so that it can make money. As far as Game Mill is concerned, they don't give a flying fuck as long as the game makes money. But Ludosity is like, yo, these are the things we need to do to make the game make money. And Game Mill is like, yeah, that sounds cool, but when is the game coming out? Like, that's what it feels like. Like, it feels like one of those games that I wouldn't say it's stuck in development hell, but it feels like they're developing this game with, like, I won't say a hand tied behind their back, but it feels like all their fingers are tied together. You remember when, like, you was a little kid, you used to put tie the rubber band around your fingers so that you would be like this, and all your fingers, your whole hand will be like one finger. So if you tried to scratch it, it would just stay together. That's how it feels like they have to develop the game. The hand's not tied behind their back, but their fingers are like rubber band together, if that makes sense. So like in terms of that, I want to say I can learn to appreciate what they're doing, but at the same time still criticize what the fuck is Game Mill doing. But as somebody in my last video pointed out, Game Mill is the same studio that released Big Rig Racing, which is commonly known and seen as one of the most unredeemable games of all time. And that's just not me talking on my ass. There are multiple sources of people saying that this game is high tier ass. And like, if you think I'm joking and if you think you can justify how ass this game is, I encourage you to download or go buy Big Rig Racing and play it. You can still buy it on Steam today, or you can just emulate it and delete it like anybody normal would do. And yeah, you'll see why Game Mill, like Game Mill is one of those companies I really don't understand how the fuck they're still around. Like at the end of, pay attention, nigga, I keep squirting on you. But at the end of the day, let me leave you with this nugget of knowledge. What people should learn from this situation, and this goes for Ludosity or anybody in general. One thing I was taught is that a lot of people who are very, very huge bigwigs in business don't know a fucking thing about what they're doing because they was put there, because a lot of the time they was put there in that position by unjust means, not by qualification. Let me repeat that in a simpler way. A lot of the times the people who are the bosses of the company don't know shit about the company. They just know that I'm in control of everything. With that negative knowledge being left off on you, and with that being said, I just want to wrap the video up, and I want to say, if you haven't liked this video yet, why haven't you? Go ahead and do that. But now that I left you with that final thought, peace out, y'all. Don't forget to eat the Buddha like a buddy. Okay, bye. Have a wonderful time.